Guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. It's been probably a few months, and I hope you guys have had a really good summer. We've been busy, so I'll give you maybe like a little bit of a channel update. We made some sales, I would say. We sold the Camaro, and that went up on Bring a Trailer, so I know some of you, our followers, watched that and probably were in the auction, so thanks for those that participated and actually saw it go. We were sad to see the car go, but I think it was time. We got really into spending a lot of time on the Firebird and just made some more room in the garage for other things. So more projects to come, of course. The other thing that we did, if you want to turn the camera around, Junior, is we sold the Taiga boat that we had, and we bought a Malibu Response in place of it. So we're really excited about that, and we've already been spending a lot of time on the boat this summer, and so apologies if we haven't been pretty active on the channel, but I think that's trying to take advantage of summertime and everything else. But we're back. It's starting to get a little more into the fall here, so let's give you some updates. I have been tooling a little bit on the motor, and I did some research to try to figure out what it would take to get the thing rebuilt. Trying to find people that actually still do machine shop work, really difficult. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of people out there, especially in the LA area, that are really good machinists as well. And there was a pretty good guy in Huntington Beach that retired around the COVID period. And there's a guy that does really good Pontiac work, but he's in Arizona and he's retiring as well too. I was going to take it there because my parents are south of Tucson, and I thought it would be a good place to get somebody who knows Pontiac blocks and related. So I kind of made the executive decision to work with what I got. I mean, technically there's nothing wrong with the motor. It's got really good compression still. It's got some miles on it. It definitely looks like it's, had some, it's, 144,000 miles. You're gonna have some wear in it. It's a little dark as far as like the inside of it. And Junior, if you want to zoom in on a little bit of it. So I've cleaned it all up, and I've got all the new freeze plugs in it, or the expansion plugs, which I had originally bought. And so then I started buying some components to basically just do a refresh and a reseal on it, which is what I think I've committed to do on it. That works. It's a little bit more budget friendly. It saves some money for paint and body, and I think I'll get some pretty decent performance out of the thing as well too. I did put a new oil pump on it as well too. The oil pump that was on it, the screen was just almost black and clogged, so that had to have had an effect on oil pressure. So I think by putting a new oil pump in it, we also just put a new timing chain in it right now, and so that's on it. And then we bought some other parts for it that we're going to show you guys what we're going to put on today. So we got a new timing cover. The other one, as you guys probably saw, was all corroded. It was actually missing the plate that goes for the water pump. And let me show you what that looks like here. So there's a plate that actually goes in between the water pump and then the impeller, and that was missing from the previous one. So there's a lot of things that were like not right on the motor that kind of needed refresh. The other thing I forgot to mention as well is I put a BOP Engineering, so Vehicles Pontiac. It's this smaller company in Wisconsin. They make all these really cool Pontiac updated seals and parts. So it's got a two-piece seal that I put in around the rear main crank, and so that's going to basically help it to ensure that it's not going to have any rear main seal leaks. The one that was in there was a rope seal, and I had to literally pull the rope seal out in chunks just to get it out. I had to loosen the caps on the main just to lift it and get it out of there. So, and then I bought a lot of other parts. Here we go. This gives you guys a little bit. This is the company, this BOP Engineering. And so the other things that we've got are all the gaskets, intake, Velcro, everything else. But then these are the BOP Engineering. This is a one-piece oil pan. It's basically an impregnated steel gasket. You can't overcrank it. And so this will be what we'll seal up the oil pan with. Plus I got all the other parts, one for the distributor gasket, and then I also got this, it's called a fiber valley pan gasket as well too. So we'll use that to reassemble. And so you use a minimum amount of silicone only on the gaps and related. So that's what we'll be doing on the video, is starting to show some of the reassembly and putting the motor back together. I'll show you guys the sheet metal. As we've been busy just cleaning up a lot of the existing sheet metal. So the valley pan, valve covers, and then the oil pan, which are all pretty much cleaned up and degreased. So we'll be painting the whole motor as well, and we'll show that progress on the channel. If we step over here, these are the other things that I've started to work on as well, is the harmonic balancer. As you can see, there's a ridge line here where it's worn from the old seal. And so that has a sleeve that will basically work to replace that and put the new sleeve over it with some of the sealant from Felpro. I got really cool ERP fasteners for putting all the for putting all the timing chain and the water pump back together. All the other fasteners were just, you know, rusted, torn up when I tore it down. We got a new fuel pump over there. That's the rest of the gaskets for the timing, and we'll be putting all that together there. So let's step into that next. We'll start into putting this back on the motor with the timing cover, and we'll put some assembly lube on the timing chain, and then we'll start moving towards getting the oil pan mated up to the bottom of the timing cover as well too. So yeah, let's do that next. You recording?
Yeah, ow.
Okay. So what we're doing is we're putting a light layer of silicone on this gasket to get a coating, and I think this is there's probably a easier way to do this but I think this is going to get what we need as far as adhesion to the cover, and so I think that's pretty good. And then the bigger part of it is going to be on the block, because of the cast iron, especially around the water jacket, is where we want to have, bless you, want to have a good amount. So just want to do a little bit more on this here. So yeah, okay, so with that, I think that's got a pretty good light coating. And this is going to go on the back of the aluminum surface. That way we've got the gasket already attached. Oops. Hang on. Okay, so actually change the plans. I'm going to do this. Now that we've got that there, I'm going to double up a little bit of coverage here, because on the cast iron block in here, this is where you've got rust, and so this is from water, obviously the water jacket, and so you want to have a really good seal here. because if you don't, you're going to get water and oil leakage. So I think that's the main aspects of this. Okay. And then we'll, of course, we'll wipe off any excess. But this ensures that we've got good adhesion. Okay. And then down to the pieces there. Okay. Good. All right, that helps because now we can ensure that we've got those areas covered. Okay, so we'll fold this up. And then what I'm going to do now is use the rest of this to give it a very light coating on top of the gasket here as we put the timing chain cover over the top of this. Okay guys, so we're gonna start putting those together. Actually these, no, these go down here.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. And then with these go up top here. So you got those on? Okay. Don't tight it, nope. That's loosening it actually.
Oh.
And so that needs to be used with the torque wrench. So yeah, let's get these hand tightened. Like you got them so they're kind of snug, right?
Yeah.
Just by hand snugging them.
Yeah. That one's not snug.
That one's not snug all the way. So why don't you take your ratchet then? You got it so it's tightening. So like this, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so why don't you kind of don't torque it too much, just snug it. Okay, keep going till that washer doesn't still loose.
Wait up.
Yeah.
Let's use the others loose.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Now I'll go do the same with this one over here. Just feel that washer, make sure that's, yeah. These ARP fasteners are really nice. Okay, cool, that's snug, that's snug. Now let's use the torque wrench. So here, why don't you hold the camera and I'll torque the top ones, then you can torque the bottom ones. So this is set at 30 pounds torque. Okay, just checking. Seems like I'm really torquing it, but it doesn't seem like the torque wrench is going. Let's do a test here. Let's gradually torque it to 10 and see what it does. It's 10 pounds there. Okay, that's 10. want to be careful because it's aluminum and we don't want to put too much torque on it, right? You never know if the torque wrench is good or not. Want to be cautious, so there's 30. Okay, there's 30. All right, so here's yours. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna gradually build this up as well. So let's start with 20. Okay, here.
Right here?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is keep the head on that, right? And then keep it straight. Got it? Okay, one more. Okay, that's enough. So when it clicks, you stop pushing on it, right? Careful, take your time. And again. That's it. Okay. Here, why don't you hold that? And we'll adjust the torque wrench again. We'll set it to 30. So we're basically kind of like gradually torquing it down. I don't think this is required, but we're just being safe. All right. So then I'll set it to 30. 30. All right. Okay, that's it. So it's on. All right. So now let's use some of this here. Let's kind of clean up It's got stuff all over it. It's already tacked. Wow. Here, so why don't you take this one, but don't get it on your fingers. And so, yeah, you want to kind of wipe the excess off. And amazingly, it didn't take long for that to dry up. So maybe that's fine the way that it is.
Yeah, lots stitching on it right here.
Is that?
Down here.
Yeah, it's already starting to.
You want this with it? I have an idea.
To tack up. So that's fine. You know what we'll do? We'll leave it, and then we'll just spray paint over it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. This is really good here. If you can show all this, you can see all the way along here. There's a really good amount of silicone that's kind of pushing out, which is just about the right amount of seal that we wanted, right? So that's on there. That's not going anywhere, and it's definitely, in between the block too. So okay, that's on. Yoo-hoo! Oh. Right.
Yay!
Okay, so the next thing will be to put the oil pan on as well, and then we'll get that done. So, okay, so we'll do the oil pan next. Okay, so we got the time cover on. Now we're gonna flip the motor over. You showing the motor flipping, right? Here we go. Back on this side again.
Whoa.
And we're upside down again. Okay, so there's our fancy new oil pump. Here's our timing cover and the joining surface where the oil pan will sit on. So we'll do a little bit more cleanup from some of the oil drip. But if you guys can see, the internals of the engine, the cylinders look really good. I didn't see any scoring in it or anything like that whatsoever. So this is the cap I had to take off in order to change the seal. So what we'll end up doing then, Junior, is kind of picking up some of this oil, cleaning it off, right? So get it so that the gasket surface here, right, doesn't have any oil on it, right? Same thing with this. Yeah, all the way through here. And then we're gonna have to spray it with brake cleaner to get it clean. So, okay, that's pretty good. All right.
Alright, so finish what I'm doing it here. This is like lots of oil is like when you have the motor upside down, lots of oil.
Yeah.
Times on the bottom and just dathers on the bottom, especially over here.
Yeah. So when you put gaskets together, you want to have like as clean a surface as you can get it. And on this oil pan gasket, we're going to need to make sure that there's going to be a little bit of silicone here, and then over this cap. And then at the seam over here, we're going to want to have some. We're probably going to cut some of that away with a X-Acto because it's not perfect. We don't want any gaps where oil can leak out in an oil pan. So. Here, why don't you take that out of the way? Got it?
I did a bunch.
Okay. Okay. I'm excited that we're reassembling this, so it's good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably decent.
Decent.
And then we can take our BOP Engineering oil pan gasket. We'll give it a trial run here. Yeah, so that's going to sit. It's going to sit right
more right there.
How's it fit?
It's really good. Like,
okay.
Decent, like, enough.
Yeah.
Some parts are like not all evenly spaced, but
yeah, as long as the bolt holes line up, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's good.
Yeah. Maybe we can get to the next part.
All right, so we'll get the Ultra Black oil resistant silicone out next.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna basically test these areas and make sure they're good. I'm concerned about this right here.
Yeah.
This gasket has kind of got an edge on it.
So, kind of this one too.
Yeah.
A little
so
bit.
I kind of feel like we need to trim that. So that's fine. Okay, we're gonna put this away. Make sure it does. Okay. Look at that brand new timing chain. That looks cool, huh?
Yeah, let's sit.
I think what we'll do here is I want to put some assembly lube on the bottom part of this now too.
Yep.
So
just make sure it's all like sucked in before you pour it over.
It'll drip in there. So. Okay, cool. That's sweet. All right. Okay, so Junior's kind of going over at the straight edge blade. Now, this is where the gasket's going to come in, so you can see where the old gasket was, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of want to feel with your finger, is there any imperfections on the surface? And then if you feel anything, kind of right here.
Here.
Yeah. You're gonna really kind of get in there with the right angle, like.
Yeah, there
you go. See it? See how that stuff comes out?
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, you got it. Watch out.
Yeah.
Cool. That's our air gun. Okay, right there. See that little black edge?
Yeah.
You kind of get. It's kind of an art using a razor blade on a. There's a bunch of junk in the.
I thought I saw some like over here.
I don't know. Some of this is paint from the motor too. Feels pretty good over here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see one more on this side here.
Just doing a final wipe.
Yeah. Okay, cool, good.
Why is there that line?
Okay, so we are putting the oil pan on, and Mommy's going to come and get close-ups here. So I put some silicone here, here. This is the Ultra Black, which is the oil and gas resistant stuff. So I'm going to put this on now. And let's check it to make sure that we got good coverage in that. It looks like it. Same as well. Okay, now on the oil pan side of things, we're going to put some in this crack as well. Just to ensure on these bends that we got some good coverage. And I'm going to go same here just to be safe. Yeah, these are typically the areas that will end up leaking. Okay. I think that's pretty good coverage with silicone. Cap this. And let's put the pan on. Okay, so the challenge with this is going to be getting these rubber parts into the pan. Over here, Cole. See? Don't move that end around, please. Okay. That's it. Okay. Good job. Okay, let's start a couple of bolts. Joe. Not yet. I don't seem like we're aligned here. Seems like we're off quite a bit.
Yeah. To go this side.
Let's check the seal here. Okay. Let's, so these little plates. Okay, are we getting better? It's gonna be small. So Cole, why don't you take some of these other little bolts?
Yeah.
Not those are for the valve cover. These. Those. And bring those in here, these. Start installing these over here. Look. How's it coming?
A little bit thick.
Yeah. The other side. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is start. Actually, what I'm gonna do is change to a speeder, maybe. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so you see how this works? So actually this is for the bigger ones here. Right here. So I'm not going to tighten them down. Like, all I'm going to do is just kind of get them started. So why don't you just try to do that? Don't tighten them too tight. Follow me? Just start to snug them up a little bit. Okay. And then, yeah. So there's, you get another,
We got 4% battery left on this camera. It's okay.
Hey guys, welcome to day 2. Your GoPro turned off because of battery, so we lost some of what we were doing yesterday, but I'll catch you up as we did some more sealing. I got the oil pan completely on, valve covers and valley pan on. The valve covers had a coat of paint over them from somebody who had previously put them on, so this is actually starting to show what the original engine color looks like, and you can see from the oil pan as well too. It's really a cool blue. That's only a 75 to 76 Pontiac blue color, so you can see remnants of some of that old paint that somebody sprayed the top intake, but this is the actual color underneath it. I also went ahead and pulled the distributor, and I've got some Easy Off. So if you guys haven't used Easy Off for engine degreasing, especially if you're getting ready to prep it for paint, that stuff is just the bomb. It's got, of course, the ability to lift, just like you're cleaning your oven, right? And it takes and cuts all that grease. And so I saw somebody else use it online, so it's definitely been a lifesaver. I've also been using up the rest of our evapor rust as I've been kind of cleaning up all the fasteners that I need for the intake manifold and related, so some of that stuff came out really nice, and just getting things ready so that we can get reassembly going. I staged out the water pump as well, and all the hardware for that. That's of course the ERP fasteners. Cleaned up these as they were all rusty as well too, with the evapor rust, and then of course we'll paint the water pump as well when we do the block. But it's coming together, and I think the next thing I'll be doing is just trying to get the rest of some of the there's still some remnants of some pretty heavy caked on grease around some of the spark plug holes and around the heads, and then around the distributor aspect too. I've plugged off a thing, so I'll start scrubbing that down. And then my hope is to start basically masking up the engine and get it ready for paint, and that'll be like the next phase of that, and basically getting it ready to get it so we can drop it back in the car. So it's getting exciting on that. And yeah, the more and more parts that I keep consuming through for this reseal is starting to accumulate. So I'm going to empty the pan here in the trash can and just keep moving forward. Okay guys, lots of scrubbing and oven cleaning. This is end result, which is kind of cool because it's exposed some new numbers. K255, looks like a D and an N. So this is all cleaned up now. Everything's been basically wiped down with oven cleaner, just like you're cleaning the oven. You spray it, you wet it, and pick up all the dirt that the oven cleaner lifts off. Everything's nice and clean now in all of the cylinders, and I'm seeing a little bit of spatter that kind of discolored this, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue. And then I've kind of sprayed out this with air as well too. But things are looking good. And so now the big thing is going to be covering the ports with some tape, and then taping off any other thing that I don't want to spray. And I think I showed this earlier in the video, but we've got engine primer, and then we've got, it's not actually this color, but it's this color. And like I said, it's a 75 to 76 color blend. So we're gonna be doing that. I got two cans of paint for it. This stuff wasn't cheap either. So yeah, and I think we need to put an oil filter on as well. So we'll take one of those down and continue to keep going. Pull the distributor out as well. I think I'm gonna clean this up with some rust remover as well, and just keep pounding forward. So I think when I get everything all taped up and we get ready to spray, then we'll bring you guys back in. This is kind of tedious stuff. I don't know how exciting it is to watch. But yeah, you can see kind of some of the remnants in the tray there of what I'm trying to do to get it clean. And it's coming around, so yeah, big project, but nice results. Okay guys, the moment has come to put paint on this. Get it all taped up, put the water pump on it. Got some protective layers against the boat, which is making quite a lot of racket. The other thing is going to be painting a couple other accessories as well. The intake, harmonic balancer, and the water outlet. So we're going to get a coat of primer on everything and then go from there and let that tack up, and then we'll put a coat of finish on it. So we'll do a little bit of a time lapse on this. So here we go. Okay, primer gray. Get a coat on everything, including the bottom of the intake manifold. It's got really good coverage, and the nicest thing is I don't see any like crazy reactions to anything. This is kind of rough in here, but I'm not too worried about it because the intake manifold is going to cover it. Valve covers look great. It's already basically dry. It's the great thing about primers. But yeah, everything was well worth putting effort into getting everything super clean. And we got our sacrificial spark plugs there. I did put a Ziploc baggie on the oil filter just because I didn't want to spray it. But yeah, really good coverage. So we'll let this cure up a bit, and then we'll go on for some color next, guys. Exciting. Still looks like it needs to be a little darker. I'm hoping that it comes through with, and that's just the primer, the light gray. I was just basing it off of what the previous color looked like, but it's pretty dang close. So we'll see if it darkens up a bit once I get the second coat on. It definitely looks like it's a decent paint. Again, what I'm really pleased of, there's no fish eyes, there's no issues whatsoever, so that primer really did a nice job. And we got really good coverage so far for the one can. So I think I'll flip over the intake, and I didn't have enough to get the first dusting on the harmonic balancer, but I think once this stuff tacks up, the nice thing is it's a nice beach breeze, so it's kind of like a nice paint booth effect here actually. So, but let's hit it for another can. That's the final coat. We got coats on the top, we got coat on the bottom of the intake. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. We're just near getting this thing back in the Firebird, getting it ready to restart. We got a lot of work to do yet on the chassis to get that all cleaned up and spray painted with some black and related. And you know, the pile of parts is starting to get smaller and smaller. So still got a big quadrajet carburetor to rebuild as well too. So there'll be some definite future videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.